Warning, no cars in this video. Just a drive through my hometown, Mason, West Virginia. Population 721. Here's the old Mason Auto Glass, which has been closed down several years. It's right at the edge of town. It was open probably for 25 or 30 years. This is where the area came to get all their windshields and home glass needs done. Right across from it is the well-known Riverside Golf Course that people come from all over the state and out of state to come and golf at. It's a very nice golf course, Riverside Golf Course. Old cemetery up here on the left right here. And right beside down here a little ways we have the old Mason Motel, which has been closed down for 15 years or so. Right here on the left we got Exxon gas station. We got a Mexican restaurant, which used to be Mason Family Restaurant, which was a copy of a Shoney's. I actually was a night manager there 30 years ago. Now where I'm taking you in is the Pearson Auction House, but all this, where the mobile homes and everything was a drive-in back in the 50s and 60s. It was tore down in the early 70s. Used to be a well-known bar right here in this empty lot across from it called the Reds Club. It's been going for probably 3 decades. Down here on the left in this tan building, it used to be, well, not the tan building, the gray building on the left used to be, it's built onto Bob's Stick Shake. It was old Dairy Queen when I was growing up. Dollar store, and then we got the River Bend Church here on the left with some greenhouses around it. Bob's Market, it's one of the biggest greenhouses on the East Coast, if it ain't. Is stationed right here. Its home is right here. Here's the BFW on the right. Now, not this old house, but coming up this next old house, this empty lot before it, there was 2 identical houses. Brothers built them long ago. Some apartments here on the left, and we have a gas station, Chevron right past it, funeral home on the right hand side. No matter how small your town is, the funeral home always does business, don't it? On the left over here is an auto detail shop. It used to be a body shop when I was growing up. There's a church on Methodist Church, and then the senior citizen building. We have a doctor's office on the right, Imperial Tire on the left, Tudor's Biscuit World. Across from it is the post office. We got a lodge here on the right. This 2-story building on the right used to be a laundromat on the bottom. Now it's a tanning salon. On the left used to be Pickens Hardware. It's a buy and sell off now, and on the right was a hardware store. Right here on the right was a police station, the original, right before the fire department. Old gas station and guys using to restore cars in. On the left there is Bob's corporate office, Bob's Market corporate office. On the right used to be Rouse's body shop when I was growing up. But all that on the right, all of them are greenhouses and for Bob's Market. Right here on the right is where Bob's Market sells their produce. Mason's a nice little town to live in. wherever you live, there's a little bit of bad, so, but it's mostly good in this town. Now, about 15, 20 years ago, this is what changed Mason. Walmart came in here on the left, across from the beautiful bridge, and brought in Bob Evans and a strip mall and a couple banks. Now, I'm getting ready to take you out of Mason, but it's Clifton. It's an unincorporated town, but it uses the same zip code, so I consider it Mason myself. Most people do around here. On the left is the high school and junior high. And they call this Little Las Vegas because there's like 8 or 9 little gambling places all around down here by the bridge. Living along the high river, you get used to it, but a lot of people that come down here talk about the beauty of being right along the river, which I agree. You always take for granted what you're used to. Yeah, we're about done with Clifton here. We'll turn around down here by the pond. It's a working railroad track. Trains come through here all the time through the day. You hear the barges carrying coal up the river. Pretty little active railroad track and river, that's for sure. That red building right there, that's where Bobaflex, you have to look him up, a rock band from this area, used to practice. And right across the street here, not that you would care, but it's where I lived for about 10 years up until my divorce 6 years ago. That second house right there, that white house. So I live along the river now. The river's my backyard. The river was a backyard then. I've lived along the river for quite a few years. This town was, people started coming here. West Columbia, right down the road there, salt mines was big before coal mines. And in like 1850, there was 3,000 people living in a little area down the road here. And then they started moving and making, like Mason, New Haven, Hartford, moving up here, having salt mines up this way. Our bridge, it's probably, what is it? It's over 10 years old, I know that. It's got that new design you see all around. It's a pretty bridge. The town's been doing it was always been a nice town, but they've been doing little things like put a new playground down at the park and putting sidewalks through town where we never had sidewalks before. Lodge Market put these flowers up on the poles, waters them every day. Really adds to the beauty of the little town. But it's my hometown, huh? Went to school here. I didn't move here until I was 16. I lived in the town of New Haven until I was 9. Then I moved right on the outskirts of New Haven from the time I was 9 to 16. Moved down here when I was 16, but they're all, just a few miles apart. But, I guess I call it my hometown. I moved and lived in here, moved out, lived in here, moved back. That's where I'm living now. We'll take you down, turn you here by the senior citizen building on the left where the doctor's office. That used to be our only grocery store, B&B. Now this red clay building on the right, I don't know what that used to be. It's been closed down as long as, over 50 years, so I'll have to research and find out what it is. Like I was saying, railroad track runs right through town there. But the park, which is a pretty park, and plus you get to look at historic Pomeroy, which is a beautiful town. Big 2-story, 3-story buildings, built back in the late 1800s. So it's a pretty sight to look from this side. You've seen the stage right there on the left where we have our concerts. But yeah, it's a lot bigger city back then from where High was. And there's a levee where you take your boats out. Right over here, the new park. Hog and Zussman Lumberyard, very old company. Zussman's own it now, but they still keep the name from the original 2 owners, Hog and Zussman. It's right down here on the right. And you can tell by the advertisement on the building that it's a very old building. Old business is what I'm saying. Old building also. Right across the railroad tracks up here on the right is Faith Baptist Church. That's where my mom went to church when she was alive. She had to, that didn't make a lot of sense, did it? Of course she didn't go there after she died. Spirit maybe, but not physically. And we'll take you across the road and finish up where the grade school used to be. Each of these little towns, West Columbia, Mason, Hartford, New Haven. When I was growing up until the 90s even, they had their own grade school. Now New Haven built on, and all the kids go to that grade school in the whole area. Like I said, it's a clean little town, and it's mostly good people. I'd say all good people. Good people do bad things sometimes. Don't make them bad people. Always try to look at it from the person's side, where they've been, maybe before talking bad about them, about what they did, I think basically people want to be good. The majority of people are good and try to be good. But things happen, and like I said, good people do bad things. So we're about ready to finish up. I could have went down all the streets, but this is like a 15-minute video now, so that would have been probably a 45-minute video if I went up and down every street. But right up here is the old Mason Grade School. It's still being used now as offices, they hand out groceries here and stuff for the needy, which is a lot more needy now with the prices the way they are. Thanks for watching. Remember, it'd be a boring world if we saw the same. Keep being you.